Hello, fellow Americans. My name is Aliyah Herrod, and I want to nominate my husband, Chris Herrod, to be your next congressman in 3rd Congressional District. I want to start by saying thank you for being state delegates and taking this job seriously. Let me tell you about Chris Herrod I know. Chris Herrod is the most humble, God-fearing, and trustworthy person I've ever known. You don't see these qualities in many politicians these days. Chris Herrod walks the talk. You can trust him to do what he says he will do. He grew up in Utah, and he's one of you. We have all grassroots volunteer campaign, no signature gathering. He's no smooth-talking politician with great PR and big spending. But the main thing is this. Today, our constitutional freedoms are under attack, and many Americans don't even see it. I see it, and Chris Herrod see it, and we know how it starts. You see, I have experienced life without freedoms. I grew up in Ukraine, in the former Soviet Union, with no freedoms to bear arms, freedom to speak the truth. I have lived with socialist medicine, and it's not good. So I want to say, wake up, Americans. Don't go down this path. Don't lose your freedoms. I have been married to Chris Herrod for 25 years, and he understands this perfectly. Please welcome true patriot, true conservative, true Republican, the love of my life, Chris Herrod.
I love my wife for many reasons. First, she puts up with me, but she is wise, and we all know that she's the better candidate. Dear delegates, I want you to know how much I'm grateful for the time that you've taken. I'm grateful for my wife and the many people that have volunteered for my campaign. I want you to know that our constitutional freedoms are under attack. And here's the reason why I believe that I'm the best person for this job. A year ago, when we were in front of the Deseret News editorial board, I was the only one, when pressed by the editorial board, if I supported a special prosecutor for accusations between Trump and Russia. And I said no, because I hadn't seen any evidence yet. And the response was, the seriousness of the allegations is what matters. And I spent the next couple of minutes talking about the Fourth Amendment, because the Fourth Amendment, regardless how you feel about any individual, if they can take away the Fourth Amendment for the most powerful person in the United States, they can take it away from any of us. My international experience, thank you. My international experience has taught me, I've taught in the former Soviet Union, I've studied in the Middle East and Europe. I know what Russia does, I know what Putin is about. But I also know that the state of Utah has a relationship with Russia. When we develop our natural resources, not only do we help rural Utah, but we also help the national security by keeping more money out of the hands of Russia, Iran, and Venezuela. One of the main reasons that I'm running this time around is I am greatly worried. Whenever there's a tragedy, everybody seems to step back from constitutional rights. The one thing I want you to know about me is I don't just talk, I do. 4 weeks ago, I spoke at a rally for the Second Amendment at the Capitol, having to do with school safety. And I thought this was great. There was 400, 500 people that were there rallying for the Second Amendment. Then I went around to the front, and I saw thousands, 8,000 to 10,000 people that wanted to take away your guns. For me, the Second Amendment is not theoretical. I have friends that have lost both of their parents to Stalin's gulags. And so if we do not stand up, not one individual, I cannot do it by myself, but we all have to stand up. We have to teach our children that one of the safest places for them to be is actually in school. We have to counter the leftist rhetoric that is out there. I want you to know that it is time for all of us to stand up, pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. I want you to know that if you send me to DC, that I will do that. God bless the United States of America and the great sovereign state of Utah. My name is Chris Herrod, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.